So I try as best as I possibly can to get to know an audience, and obviously coming a few days in advance and eating with you and getting a chance to drink with you and have breakfast, etc., is one piece of it. But I want to do a very quick psychographic survey of the audience. We are a research-based company, so this is a small sliver of that research. Take out a piece of paper in front of you, please. And what I want you to do is I'm going to read 4 shapes. And whichever one of those shapes most dominates your mind, whatever pops into the forefront first, don't question, ask, or judge why. Just go ahead and write the shape down. One of 4 shapes. Are you ready? A circle, a triangle, a square, a Z. Circle, triangle, square, Z. All right? Write them down. Just one, whatever it is. If some of you can't figure out what to write down yet, that says something about you too, but we won't go there. All right, there we go. Perfect. All right, circles, raise your hands. Wow, okay, interesting. Not a surprise with a group of senior leadership like this. Circles tend to be out-of-the-box thinkers. They tend to embrace change. They tend to recognize that relationships are critical to getting the things done that they need to get done. So very positive things about circles. The thing about circles, though, is you specifically avoided anything that boxed you in, made you feel claustrophobic or tied in, sharp edges, straight sides, etc. As a result, 50% of this audience, a particularly undisciplined group of individuals, you 50%, all right? Triangles, raise your hands. Okay, good. Keep them up, keep them up, keep them up, keep them up. I see a few of you, and it's not a surprise. Because you know why? Triangles will do anything to get to the top of an organization as quickly as possible. These are the most ruthlessly blind individuals in the room. I saw Gustavo right there. He's like, absolutely a triangle. Perfect. No, I'm only slightly kidding. The thing about the triangles are just make sure that as you get to know them, you stay on their good side, okay? Who put a square? Who put a square? There's nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to be ashamed of. It's okay, the world needs accountants too. It's good. But the squares are the individuals with rigor and discipline in their lives. They're the individuals that step up and actually are able to perform with great degree of process. And by the way, does not mean that they're antisocial. Does not mean that they're not capable of relating to other people. They go to events like this. They connect to people. They collect business cards. It's just the people who put a square down every single night go home and enter the names into a database. That's who they are. And in fact, those are the only ones in your entire company using your CRM system, right? And then there's the Zs. Then there's the Zs. Don't raise your hands. I would never do that in front of your peers and associates for the Zs. Zs, just preoccupied with booze and sex. We have... By the way, where is Juan Ernesto and the whole Latin American team? No, I'm only slightly kidding. The Zs are the nonconformists. The Zs are the individuals who, normal shapes and sizes, I'm going to do it my way, so to speak, and forge my own path. Rest assured, what we just did was not statistically significant. But what it does begin to show is that everybody in this room has a slightly different, unique style to yourself as how you migrate into the professional relationships of your life. There are other tools and social styles that we can use, such as the Johari window. Some of you bound into the room with big windows open. Others of you walk in much quieter. And what's very important is to recognize that what humanity is looking for mostly, and when we started our firm, we started a firm with a research basis. And by the way, the reason the lights are up today, and the reason that this conversation, and I'm down here, is because I really do, and I will turn this into a more interactive conversation, a dialogue, moving to real action. My intent is not just to entertain you, doing jokes and sock puppets or whatever I could possibly do. My intent is hopefully to get you to think about something and perhaps leave this room and say, I think I'm going to try something a little bit different or take a little bit more of a risk. And then I've been successful. Otherwise, I'm just corporate entertainment, and that's not what I flew around the world to do. But our firm is based on a lot of research. We have a core group of researchers, anthropologists, sociologists, psychologists, and those individuals study human behavior in the workplace. And we study human behavior, and we relate that human behavior in different types of human behavior. We relate it to high performance. And that's the research component of what we do. And we quantify that very rigorously. But the next thing that we do is, because we're not just a research and a group of academics, we're an intervention arm, we intend, and we will show you today, not only some interesting insights, but hopefully we'll show you a roadmap for how you can apply those insights to your lives, with your teams, and in your organization. So the entire intent is to really focus on something that really is a set of mindsets, a set of processes, and a set of skills that will make you as individuals higher performing, similar to literally the thousands of teams globally that we have studied. Thousands of teams globally that we have studied. And what we do is we actually, first and foremost, try to pick apart the components of the highest performing teams on a global basis, and then we backward integrate as to how one can actually accelerate the creation of such a team. Because I don't want you to have to wait for time and serendipity and chance to become a high-performing team. I don't want you to have to wait for the magical leader to do it for you.